What is going on? Welcome to Speed Lab, where we provide film by film, frame by frame feedback, frame by frame coaching to help you get faster, to help you run faster. This is Speed Lab. This is where you can come submit your film for film review. You click over here, film review. Click up here, type please help, and you click here, film review, attach, and that's how you get your film reviewed, just like all these good people did. So today we're going over film from Rick. We'll watch some of this from David, and we have a few others who didn't follow the directions, but we're going over their film also. Okay. We can go in order. Let's look at Rick. So Rick is one of my master's athletes. Not my master's athlete. He's a master's athlete who is a 400-meter runner requesting film review. So he ran a 200 3 days ago. Start was not great. Poor reaction. Stood up out of the blocks instead of driving. He was in a race with kids, but that's okay. Says he was actually pleased with his bend, but he can see his arms are practically front side and elbows barely break the plane of hips. I could tell my form was dipping in the last 50, and I struggled to keep my pelvis in a neutral position. I was focusing on turnover by this point. Okay, let's watch. Let's see, Rick. Let's see what you can work on. So Rick shared two film. Same film, different angles. Let's watch the regular angle here first, and then we can go watch the other angle. So Rick is here. This is Rick. We're going to watch his 200 and see what he can improve. Hello, Alina. How's it going? No copyright music. Can't have it. Won't have it. Let's see what Rick does. Alina, you looking to get your film reviewed? Okay, a little fuzzy. I mean, not a bad position in the blocks there, though. Yes, poor reaction. I did a decent drive phase. Not horrible, not great. Decent turn. And Rick smoking the little kids. Okay, let's see. Let's rewind. Okay. So that wasn't a horrible job driving, Rick, actually. I know the reaction was one thing. Okay. Obviously, like you said, that reaction time was not the best. So we got to work on that. Alina, you still here? If you want help with your film, Alina, you can click the link in the description and it'll take you to Speed Lab where I can review your film. So not the worst drive. Yeah. All right, this is where we're looking. What do you guys think? I don't like the initial arm swing. Maybe that's what you're talking about, Rick. I don't like the initial arm swing. I feel like it could be a bit more aggressive. I know we're a master's athlete, right? So take with that what you will. But those arms look much better than your initial push out of the blocks, Rick. And then you have nice drive. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, You know, it looks like you drive for maybe at least 15, if not 20 meters there. So it's not a horrible drive. This is a nice turn. A little bit challenging to know without competitors your age and skill level in the race, but you look good from here. Then Rick mentioned his arms. Yeah, you kind of tire out there a little bit with the arms. You can see that. Maybe look at my young friend with the red hair on the outside. These look good, 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 and then it looks like around here for whatever reason, right? Like so, Rick, from about this tire, okay, you push all the way to here in the 200, and then you take a nice breath in. You begin to grow tall again and get ready to reapply force into the track. So you take a breath in, and then right about now, you release your breath and grow tall and push through this acceleration zone. And I don't see another acceleration off of here. Okay. He already mentioned his arms were not um, the best. So same race, he just was lucky enough to have someone record the finish as well. Okay, there's Rick in the lead. Overall, not a horrible race, Rick. Yeah. The turn was nice. The turn was the best part of this race for you. You came off the straight okay. I like this. Right? Look at that step over here. Step over, step down. Step over, step down. You see when you hit the wall, you well, it's hard to see from here. Look at my young friend in the red, in the red and with the red hair. If you ever see this, you got to relax. Look at your fighting with your arms there, okay? Got to relax coming off the turn. Okay. Rick, right around here is where well, not around here. I would guess you can't really see because of the camera angle. I would guess actually right around here. You stop stepping over and you let that leg drag through. Those legs get heavy. And it just falls down instead of you stepping down. Drags through, not as high and tight here, right? I'm looking at the way that this right leg swings through, pulls through here, and it never gets back up. It just kind of falls and falls. If you can just do your best to maintain what you have coming off the turn, I know that it's the end of a 200, but look at how you're stepping through here. Step through and down. Okay, Rick. So, I mean, this can be fixed a number of ways. Conditioning drills, speed endurance, right? High knees, getting those hip flexors and the psoas stronger. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to work on. Okay, Rick? Especially for the 400, because I know you're a 400 guy. Rick says, my time was a 29:14 confirmed, but with a 2.3, so just over the legal limit. I ran a 29:03 in April with a 3.4. So Rick's running the 100 and 400 today, Friday. So hopefully he'll let me know how it goes. I'll actually just check back in with him. Hey, Rick, good luck in your races today. Please let us know how it goes. Okay, so I just sent that to Rick. All right, that's Rick. Who's next? Who do we have next? David. David's next. Okay, let's see. Okay, so David shares some block starts. I gave David the block start checklist to work on. If you are curious about block starts and you have no idea what you're doing, then the block start checklist can help you get started for sure. If not, like it can be something that you carry through your whole track career. You, you know, it's an example and it's one that is great and I've gotten great feedback from. Um, let me see. Do I have David's? Film ready? Oh, I didn't even have. Okay, we're coming back to David. I have to actually. Place that foot all the way against that pedal. Nice. This foot against this pedal. Nice. Backs in. Very nice, David. Not leaning back here. Very good. Set. Good. Good. A few suggestions, but nice, David. Okay, so I have to download these. I thought I did, but while we wait for these, how many should we download? 3 is fine. We will go to Nariman. Okay, so this is who we're going through. Just wants to know thoughts. 150 runs a 15:22. So that's definitely, is this hand time? I mean, it looks very fast. Okay, not bad. Let's see. We got the film here. We're going to figure it out. Okay, Nariman, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but we're going to review yours. So Nariman runs an 11:12 and a 22:50. But you run a 15:22 150. Let's see. What would my 100-meter time be if I ran 15:22 in the? I feel like it should be. Is that right? 11:1. Oh no, it should be around 10 something. That's what I figured. Oh, previous season best 11:12. Here, I'll let you guys see what I'm looking at. Here we go. My previous season bests were 11:12 and 22:50 before any sprint specific training. Wants to make the Olympics, which is sub 10, sub 20.10. Has not raced yet because of a hamstring injury. 38530. So we're going to watch this next. But for anyone else struggling with hamstring injuries, I just made this. Okay. I actually made this a while ago. I just edited it and uploaded it to SpeedLab. That's the truth. It's a posterior chain prehab rehab. Is getting your glutes, hamstrings, calves, and Achilles ready to go. So this should be done before competition, before practice, even. That should be done. Okay. Every day, by the way. Every day. Okay. Let's see. Nariman. All right, let's see this. Yeah, I mean, this looks faster than 11:12 just from looking at it, but looks are deceiving as well. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. This is very nice. Look at how powerful. Look, we talked about this with Rick, but it's very clear here with Nariman. That knee comes through. Look at that, power through. You hit that figure 4 or whatever Z that people like to talk about. I don't use any of those, but some people like to do that. Step down. Look at the arms, nice and big, right? But relaxed. Sitting just a bit, reaching just a bit. Look at how that. So when he gets tired, you can kind of see this tendency to let this foot hang out a little bit longer than should be the case. Okay. If that hits in front, especially at the speed that he's going, that's going to lead to hamstring injuries. So what the hamstring posterior chain routine that I just shared is going to do is work on firing your glutes and your hips so that you don't run into the problem of the hamstring trying to do the glutes job. Because if these are not work if this is not working well, then these take over. The hamstrings take over for the glutes, and then it tries to do its job, and you end up with a foot that hangs out here and strikes just enough in front at a high enough speed to make it not good for your hamstring, right? Cleans it up though at the end. I feel like his body is learning what to do here. Okay, so how do you stop that hitting in front? That really, what he's doing well is reaching out and grabbing the track, but it's not quite grabbing, it's just letting the foot fall in front of him. And it's maybe worse on the right. I wonder if his right hamstring was the injured one or the left. But you see it a little bit more obvious here. Just this tendency. Okay. It doesn't happen every stride, but it happens enough. And this is going to be a big break. Big break. You want to run 10, sub 10, then these have to be fixed. Okay. Now, how do you fix this kind of stuff? I mean, a lot of it is reps. I told Nariman that one of his biggest challenges is going to be just consistency. Whenever you're injured and you're out all the time, you end up doing stuff like this just because you're trying to figure your rhythm out, especially the faster you go. Okay. And his second biggest obstacle is going to be having training partners that run fast. That's maybe the more important piece of the puzzle for him as he looks to make his Olympic team. All Olympians train with future, former, or current Olympians. They all have teammates that they practice with. Usain Bolt, Gout, Noah Lyles, everybody. Okay, they train with great people. They have great coaches. They train with great people. So that's going to be another one of the big unlocks for Nurman as he looks to run much faster than 11:12, which I feel like he should be doing. Okay. So we're going to look at uno más. What is this? This is a 30. Oh, nice. A block start. Yeah. Yeah. You know, this is one of those things where, like, we're going to look at this obviously through film because that's what we do. But what you can already tell is that the difference maker for him is not going to be some massive technical advantage because it all looks pretty decent. It's going to be the consistency over time and having training partners that are a little bit above you. Those are going to be the two biggest factors for him. It's very nice here. Very nice. Okay, one small change. Okay, this is actually not horrible here. I feel like those eyes are looking a little bit out here. But then now, look at those staring this way. They need to continue to look out down past down the track. Okay, 10 meters out there. 10 meters out down the track, that's where his eyes should be looking. Got the fan club in the back. The aunties back there. Very nice. Steps down. Let's see if he's stepping down or if he's waiting and hanging out for that foot to hit the track. Boom. Yeah, nice. I'm looking at this foot. I want to know if it gets out wide or if it steps back down and hits the track and he steps back down. Step down. Step down. Step down. Even as he's getting longer and more open, steps down. Okay, you can kind of see what I mean. A little bit open here. Whereas he could have fired this hamstring to drive that foot back down. Still driving because we're only, I don't know, 5 meters from the ball. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, now we're moving on to Sharon. Yeah, here we go. 1 second, I have to do the stupid thing. Sorry about that. Okay, so Sharon's very new. Very new. So I gave them an assignment of just doing the Speed Lab fundamental warm up. And when we talk on call again, I guess on Tuesday coming up, we're going to see how it went because they already said that the workload maybe was a little too much and that was just the warm up. So let's see what happens with that. Okay. So, you know, Sharon, I'm going to tell you what I think, and it probably is going to be a lot, but take it one day at a time because it takes time to perfect all these, and you're very new. So it's going to take you a little while. All right. It's going to be so good for you when you learn how to do this. All these fundamental drills that I'm having you do, you can already see it in just this small clip. That's the biggest thing for you at this moment in time. Is just doing these drills every day and getting that warm up in every day. Okay, so we want to be standing up tall. All right. Strong on the ground. Pushing through the ground. We want to act connected. Here, I'll do this. Through the sky. That's how tall that's how we want to be standing up. Right? Not with this. Okay, not with the bent leg. That's weak. And the reason we want to stand up tall also is because it's going to help us not hit in front of our body during these drills. Okay. Look at how that foot hits in front. That one's not bad. You kind of step down on that one. So we need to do core work, hip flexor stuff. Let's see what the arms look like. Not great. And then after this, he's supposed to turn it into a sprint. And I'm not quite sure what that was. Okay. So we need many more reps of A skips, many more reps of A skips. We still have B skips coming. I'm excited to see what those look like for you. I actually like B skips a bit more. Oh, surprisingly a little better than the A skips. Not horrible. Okay, so same deal. You gotta be. Look at this. Okay. This position is no good. No good. We have to be way more stiff upon impact. All right. And I'll show you how to do that. Actually, Sharon, one of the complaints was that the ankle hops in the fundamental speed lab warm up was a bit too much. And I believe it because of this, actually. Okay. Because what happens is you have gravity plus your body weight times all the force that you produce coming down. Right? Why is there force coming down? Well, because you just put force into the track this way. And as a result, there's force coming back down this way. And so if we don't learn how to handle this force coming down, then this force coming up will never be that great. And that's what this is the problem that Sharon is having at the moment. Okay. But luckily I built it into the warm-up. The warm-up takes care of all of it. It teaches you how to learn how to handle the force and produce the force. And so when you do your drills, you want to work on remaining stiff. Look at that. Collapsed. Okay. Weak core, weak hip flexors. Don't worry about it, Sharon. We'll fix that. Yeah. I know it felt like you didn't know what was happening because, you can see it in these videos that you just don't even have time to figure out what's happening because you're trying not to actually like fall into the track. If you could fall into the track, you would. And so you're spending all your time trying to figure out how to not do that. But but you know, you know, a lot of it's just going to come with time and reps. Most athletes hate that advice, but it is what it is. It's true. Okay, straight leg bounds. I thought these were some of the best things you did there, Sharon. Okay. Look at that. Much better. So this is more stiff. Look at that. And that's how you should be hitting the ground when you do your B skips, for example, because what's different about this motion? Not much from a B skip, right? I know this is the different motion. This is straight leg bounds, but the goal of the straight leg bound is to swing this foot back under and strike the ground and then produce your force going that way, right? And you're able to do these fairly well, but A skips and B skips you can't do. So for me, that just means that we need more reps. We need more time. That's about it. So nothing crazy, nothing unmanageable for you, just time. And like I said, he's very new, and I'm just helping him figure it out. And the risk actually for a newer person is giving them too much too soon or confusing them with like a bunch of words and a bunch of things like that. Okay. So little little different, and then we'll get to David's block starts. We have Sarong doing long jump, and very quickly I'm going to go over what's happening here because Sarong's a little confused. If you hear Sarong, let's get into it. Actually, I'm just going to text him. Okay. All right, so let's watch this. If it'll play without skipping all the way to the end of the jump, that would be nice. Okay, so who can see what's wrong here? Okay. Sarong is not running. Look at off the board position. Both arms go up. So our legs and our arms are always going to match. Okay. This includes sprinting, jogging, walking, running, jumping, whatever. They're always going to match. Maybe not cycling because your hands are on a bar. All right. So when both of my arms go up in the air off of the board like this, what then has to happen? Well, both of my legs have to come up as well. Okay. And so now now you're 8 feet into the sand, into the pit, and you're already in your landing. This isn't a horrible landing, but it's also not a good landing. And this is called chair pose, and it's not a horrible chair pose, but it's also not a good chair pose. Arms should be up. Okay. The arms just hang out. Now you get some nice extension here, Sarong, but you already know what's about to happen with this foot. Those feet need to be together, or else that foot is going to drop off and fall to the side. Watch. And so you just fall out of this jump. Look, we need core work, squeeze, and reach. This is good. Now we have to hold it. Okay. And run off the board. Okay, Sarong was worried about his penultimate. Let's see if that's a problem. No, not the problem. Speed is the problem. Too slow. We have to get you much faster. And what you do off the board is a problem. Boom, boom. No bueno. Watch this. Let's see. Where are you at? It's gotta be. I'm looking for Casey's jumps. This is going to be a great example for Sarong. Here we go. Okay, so this is Casey, another jumper. Watch what she does coming off the board. There's other stuff that Casey has to fix, but this is not one of them. Look at her arm off the board, right? Now, what Casey does is tries to cycle this arm over the top way too fast. Watch, over the top way too fast. Casey has to learn how to maintain this position off the board better, but at least she hits it for a second. Okay, Sarong, you're not even off the board. And look at those arms coming up. Look, that's the difference. This is running off the board. Okay, this is going straight into landing off the board. Right? No hang time, no flight time. Look, Casey, at least Casey has a little bit of flight time in there, although it can improve for her as well. Okay, Sarong. Now, to end it all off, we finally have David with some block starts. David says, played around with some block settings, still trying to find the perfect ones. Been working on being under center of mass more. Biggest thing I did was try to fully load the blocks. So I had a longer block. Yep. Okay. All right, let's see, David. Shout out to David, by the way. He's been a big part of the Leica Pro Challenge. We're running a challenge right now inside of Speed Lab. And basically it's to commit out loud to your goals. So you have your commitment cards. Here's David, commits to improving recovery and rest and what he's going to stop doing, what he will keep doing, and who he's going to become along the way. And David and Sharon actually are accountability partners. So now they tag each other daily in the accountability post. Am I showing this? Yes. And they tag each other daily in the accountability post. You see Sarong here showing his stuff, David here. So big shout out to David for participating, and Sharon. You guys are, when in 6-8 months time, when track season's back and you show up, people are not going to recognize you. Okay, obviously they're going to recognize you because of what you look like, but when you step on the track and you begin to run, they won't recognize you because of the amount of work you've been putting in, the dedications you've been making, the accountability towards each other that you have towards the group. It's going to change you in the best way possible. So okay, so we have David's block starts. Let's take a look. We talk about having a good routine all the time when we discuss blocks. And so far the routine is good. Loads the back pedal first, then the front pedal, pushes back. Not sitting back in the blocks. Look at those forward hips. Set. Only the hips move. Very nice, David. Okay, so David's trying to find a little bit of a balance point there when he comes. So this is all stuff that we worked on. And by we I mean David, because I didn't do any work. Okay. Load the back pedal. Fully back. Check. Load the front pedal. Fully back. Check. Good. Push back against those. Nice. Look at the stretch on the calf. That's what we're looking for. You want this nice meeting. You want this nice pressure point, meeting point, strength point, whatever at the hips. Good job there, David. Loads back. Good, nice. Straight up and down. We corrected David from being sitting back on his heels in the blocks to being straight up and down with that hip perpendicular. Those are great changes. And now only his hips are going to move. Before, his shoulders used to rock back or rock forward to get set, but now nothing moves except for the hips. The hips come up. Okay. So you see David try to find a little bit of a set point there. No pun intended. How is he going to push off the blocks? He's trying to figure it out because he feels a little far. This is just my guess. When I talk to David, I can confirm. I think that you should actually take your whole blocks here and move them forward, this much a toe. That would be my advice. You look a little far back. Everything else looks great. And you can tell me when we discuss if you felt that way or not. This is so much better. And you see it a little bit here. Oh, that's what it is too. Okay, there's just a delay here with the arms as well, David. Okay. This is great. This is nice push, nice extension. But if you look here, your first movement did not involve your arms. Look at your arms fall. And then specifically look at this leg moving. Okay. So that leg's moving, but the arms are still down here. Right. So those have to be together. So as soon as this leg begins to shoot off the block, and while this one's pushing against the block, this arm needs to move. Oops, sorry, this way as well, because that's a right. Yeah. Okay, so just out of sync with the legs and the arms is really the issue with this block start. And when you slow it down, you can really see it. Okay, look, legs move, arms kind of go back like he's flying, and then they move with him. But that's gonna, that's a 0.2, 0.3 error right there in time. Right, and that is not an insignificant amount of time in the 100, 200, 400. It's not in any race. That's a significant amount of time. That's a lot. This is a lot of time that you're losing by not having your legs and arms in sync. Now, after that, let's see. David said he's working on landing under his center of mass. So he may have been thinking about that. This is very good. This foot drives back down into the track. That's very good. As does that foot. Good. Nice. Very good, David. Those are nice. That's nice reactivity and being under center of mass like we discussed. Okay. Now, if I had to be picky, right now we're talking about expert level stuff here. If that foot could be just a little bit tucked more so that when you fired it back, it really went back this way, That would be one minor suggestion, but that takes a lot of reps of perfection to be able to manipulate things like that, because what that requires is that once you get here, you just snap this hamstring real fast like that, and that takes the foot and snaps it down this way. But again, these are harder concepts to grasp than the changes that we made initially. That's going to take a lot of practice, and one that I'm not sure that you need to work on. What might be more important is learning how to push off both pedals as well. You want to push off both here. Now, you're going to push off the front one way more than the back one, because you're going to be on it longer as well. You call it like a 70-30 split, where this foot gets 7, the front foot gets 70, back one gets 30. But I feel like in this motion, you actually didn't push off the back pedal that much. Or here's the other option, which is a better option. You tell me, David. We'll have to talk about it. You may have been so connected to that pedal that you did push off, but we didn't see it because of how connected you were to it. I think that you actually just lift that foot off and you push 100% of your power into your front right foot, and you don't give your back foot any love. You still have to push off that pedal. It just happens a bit quicker than the front right. And I think that will also help your arm swing. Like everything will happen at once for you, as in you're going to push off this pedal and this right arm is going to fire forward. And for sure, those two changes are going to help your time a lot, because those are big changes. Here's the next one. Let's see if he does something similar or not. Is it a habit or was it a one-off? Comes up to set. Nice. Yeah, I just, I think this angle is a little bit too wide. I actually, so yeah, you're at like 150, I think it could be closer to 120. And I think that's causing you a little trouble. So like I said in the beginning, David, you just need to scoot your blocks forward, maybe just like a toe. Okay. And maybe that'll help a lot of the problems that we see. Oh, you push off a little better here, actually, of that back pedal. Yeah. I like this one better. You actually spend time pushing off the back pedal. That foot comes lower. The arms look better. And you step down on that. I like this one better. You can see the difference in this compared to the last one. Steps down. Nice. Good. So don't forget to finish this push before you then step down. But that looks very nice, that exchange. Okay. Big changes for David. Big changes. Those are excellent. Okay. Did we get to everybody? David, Rick, Nurim, and Sharon. We got to everybody. So that was nice. Okay. That's all we have today. Thank you for stopping by. If you, like I said, if you're interested in getting your film reviewed, you're going to come here to SpeedLab. And I highly recommend that you take place in the challenge. Okay. Like a Pro Mindset Challenge. And really the challenge is showing up every day. Like, believe it or not, that's the most difficult challenge for most people. Okay. So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.